Hey y'all, it's India Monee, the baddest. Welcome back to my channel where some things are good, some things are bad. Baby, we always the baddest. And before you listen to this review, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm coming with the heat, okay? And we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta every week. And make sure you get to know me during my other videos on my channel. I talk about self-development, journaling, inspiration, all the good stuff. I vlog a little bit, get to know me outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But let's get straight into it because I know that's why you're here. So first off, we don't got to keep talking about, Porsha's activism, but I do want to thank her for her service because, of course, we see the beginning of the episode, she's marching for Breonna Taylor and she's talking about her, being in and out of jail. And I just want to thank her for her service because, this is, this was a big movement that is definitely going to go down in history. And so she talked about, her channeling her grandfather and things like that. And I just like that's so positive. But I am tired of seeing this stuff in the news every day because it's just on top of the pandemic, it's just a lot of trauma and it just weighs down on me as a person. I don't know how y'all might feel. Let me know in the comments. So next we see Drew and Ralph. And Lord, bless this couple. And maybe the mama's sermon will make the marriage better because they are going through it. So Drew's mom is talking about her sermon. And I guess, Drew and Ralph didn't, come to agreement about their last argument about when, Ralph went missing in Tampa for 3 days or whatever. So the mom's sermon was all about whatever she said it was about, I forgot. But basically it was just very passive aggressive and it's definitely to attack him. I hate stuff like that because it's directed at Ralph, and Ralph is very direct. Like he is just like he gonna say whatever's on his mind. He don't care how it comes out. It's really not what you say is how you say it. And I just feel like Ralph just really don't give a fuck. He just gonna say what he gotta say and he just gonna keep it going. And I just feel like you can't do that with old people sometimes, but sometimes disrespect is just disrespect. And I feel like it's a whole lot of disrespect going on in this house, clearly. And my biggest thing was just like, you can't table big things like that. Like, that's something that y'all need to stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning to figure out because I'm not going to sleep and just acting like things are normal when you then left me for 3 days in a whole nother state to go to the beach to be by yourself and I don't know what you're doing and you're still not telling me the details. Like, sir, that's not how this shit work. So kudos to her because if it was me, and like I said, I'm young, I'm not married, but I'm not dealing with that. And yeah, I just feel like they should have just figured out what the synopsis of that situation was going to be because like she said, they just tabled it. They're not over it. And it's clearly showing. Next, we see Latoya and her best friend, Kenya, hanging out at Kenya's house. And I just really don't like how shady Latoya is being. Like, I'm like, you really coming for Drew in this wig for no reason. First of all, in my opinion, the wig didn't look bad. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that Drew's wig looked like a pet? Like, it didn't look bad to me. And then Kenya was talking about how, oh, you've been with the best hairstylist and this is the best wig you can come up with. Girl, like, and then they try to talk, trash about her wigs and all this stuff. And I'm like, Kenya, didn't you just get outed last season for wearing a wig and you trying to talk about somebody else's wig? Like, girl, just stop the wig talk. Worry about your own scalp, okay? And I'm like, Latoya, it looked like all season you gonna have these braids in. So, girl, talk about something else. And then the fact that she was like, oh, give the pet a name, Drewisha. That was the best thing you could come up with. Like, I just don't like this shade because it's giving me very forced. Like, it's like y'all don't have nothing else to come up with, so y'all want to talk about her hair and then do all this extra stuff for no reason. Y'all know how I feel about Latoya and Ken's relationship. It's giving me very much the auntie and a niece. It's like Latoya is the niece and Kenya is the auntie, and the niece is finally grown. She can finally sit at the grown folks table, and the auntie is trying to get her groove back. So she using her favorite niece to be young and hip. That's what it's giving me. But in this scene, I also was like, dang, I didn't realize Kenya booty was that big. Like, I know she said she gained 30 pounds, but I'm like, dang, like, I didn't know Kenya had a big body Benz over there. Like, wasn't she like a supermodel? Like, I was like, dang, like, Kenya is stacked, honey. Like, I don't think she had any surgery, did she? Let me know in the comments down below if y'all know if Kenya had surgery or something. But she looks good, okay? Talking about bodies and, things of that sort, we go to the exercise scene where there's Candy and Cynthia and Kenya, and they're talking about Cynthia getting a prenup with Mike. And I thought that it was a really good conversation because, first of all, I look up to Candy when it comes to business because Candy is doing her thing. And I didn't watch Real Housewives from the very first season, so I didn't even see that clip of, Todd and Candy really going through the prenup thing. But how do y'all feel about prenups? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, I see, both sides, but I mean, I guess when you at that status, you gotta protect yourself. And I just realized when Kenya was talking about the prenup thing, and I know that she didn't have one with Mark or whatever, to me it seemed like Kenya, and then like when she fell in the driveway, was having fun. I was like, wow, Kenya seems kind of like less stuck up this season. And I'm like, it's only episode 3, but I'm like, maybe her niece Latoya is making her more fun. Like, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about Kenya this season so far, because she's not so uptight. She's more relaxed. That's what I think. So this next scene was definitely my favorites of the episode, when they go to the restaurant owner's house with the wife Fallon. Oh my gosh. So on the way there, Porsha and Lauren and Tanya are in the car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss Tanya. Tanya was definitely one of my favorites last season. I loved her. But Porsha opened up about her relationship with Dennis, and I love that she talks about how I loved when she said that the breakup was what she had to do for herself. And I think so many times with relationships and like breakups, we say like, it was his fault, or, he did this. And even though, Dennis clearly ain't shit, but I like how she was like, you know what? Like, she tried to forgive him. She tried to take him back for PJ, and she wanted to do this, but she was like, you know what? I like when she said like, this was for me. Like, I had to go through this breakup for me. Like, I don't know, it just hit different for me. I don't know why, but I hope we see more of Tanya this season, because this pool scene was just so much fun. Like, I love a good girl time, drama free, drinks and hookah, okay? And Fallon, I don't know who she is, but I hope that she's around this season too, because she was just so cute. I love these cute scenes where it's just so like drama free and it's actually fun, and you have some deep conversations here and there. And then she gave the girls the gift baskets. Like, yes, like, and she got her husband in check. I was thinking the whole time, like, you need to teach a class. You need to tell these girls how to keep their mans in check and how to be classy, because this was so cute. So in this next scene, we go to Drew's house, where Drew is packing up to move into their new house. And Ralph is just definitely very much giving me master. He's giving me controlling. And he's basically trying to not include Drew into the house buying process, and he's telling her just pack. And it's like, you definitely have this like, domestic view on women, and you want to be the manly man and she needs to be the womanly woman, which I get, like, but it's 2020. If Drew wants to learn the house buying process, I feel like she has the right to know that, especially if the house just not in your name and you just not paying for it. If y'all doing this thing as a joint, then I need to be learning as a joint, especially if she wants to. And then he had this comment saying, oh, I should just remove I from my vocabulary. You think so? I mean, where are we? We're us. We're married. So I think you should, especially when you're talking about us. And I'm just like, I feel like he has like some type of complex. Like, he's always on defense. When she was talking about going to therapy, he's just always thinking negative, always on defense, and he just always got to prove himself. Like, I don't know, like, how tall is this man? Because my first thing was like, does he have short man syndrome? Because, sir, calm down. Like, you really at a 12 and you need to bring it down to a 5. We need him to chill. He's just doing too much. And somebody else who's doing too much, just a little bit, was Cynthia. Let's talk about 10-10-20. So Cynthia wanted to have her wedding on 10-10-20 in this big venue with 250 people, and of course, due to COVID and all the other, restrictions going on, the vision just couldn't be there. And I get it. Like, I definitely felt like I felt Cynthia. Like, Cynthia was just like, if I can't have the wedding how I want to have it, then I might not want to marry you on 10 to 20, even though I feel like it's my perfect day, because she wants the day to be completely perfect. And I definitely get that. As a visionary, when you see a vision, you see how something is going to go, you want it to be it to the T. Because I'm like that. If it's not to the T, then I don't want to do it, because I don't want to do it halfway. But I feel like in this case, you say you want to get married on 10 and 20. If you want your anniversary date to be on that date, then I would have just got married on 10th and 20, and I just would have rescheduled the entire wedding. Like, I feel like most of all, she doesn't want to half-ass the wedding, because she didn't want to make it smaller. She didn't want to have it at like Bailey. So I'm just like, okay, like, just get married on 10th and 20 with just y'all, and then have your whole entire wedding on a different day. But I see it. You want to have your 10th and 20 wedding. It's supposed to be magical. Like, I definitely get it. I think that, her feelings are valid, and I see why Mike was kind of just really upset. But I just feel like, as a man, like, if I'm not yelling at you, don't yell at me. And he was getting very mad. And he just shut the camera off. He was really upset, and he was just like, all right, we cool. That's that little passive aggressive stuff that I'm like, don't do that to me, because if I do it to you, you're going to be crying. You're going to be really upset. Your feelings is going to be hurt. So, again, what would y'all have done in this situation? Would you have just gotten married, just rescheduled the whole entire thing? As we know the outcome already. But I think that Cynthia and her sister really wasn't trying to back her up, I feel like Cynthia's feelings were very valid. And then having to like change all of your plans on top of dealing with the pandemic, like, it's just like you can't escape it. So it's just a lot, because that's how I feel. My birthday coming up, like, girl, Corona, can you leave? So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on this episode. Do you think the season is getting a little bit more juicy? Do you think it's picking up speed, or are you still bored with it? I think it's picking up. I think it's gonna get better. Especially looking at the previews, it looked like it's gonna be better. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you comment. I love talking to y'all. And make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Posse out.